What is your favorite Halloween treat? And what's your favorite Halloween trick? Without further ado, please enjoy this session of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude, Vivere Halloween edition. Let's recap. Session 38, Fast Travel. The Vivere had fended off the hellhounds, but one escaped back into the lava pit from whence it came. They determined that the hounds came through a type of passage that crosses realms and could lead somewhere very dark. The fractures in the ground began sewing themselves back up, making it clearer that the danger was passing. The question became what to do next. They decided to rest a little longer and set out closer to morning. Paoli adamantly offered to help the heroes, and in turn, it would help him and his companion Ste'yn. Their horses could travel at a pace uncommon in other kingdoms, and they could take the Vivere wherever they needed. They could be in Decker by the next nightfall. He also suggested another option, a portal travel more unique to druids with a connection to nature. The Vivere accepted the offer. They prepared to set out by grabbing a few items from Hire's claim while disguised. They had enough money from the small treasure hoard they took from the Onyx Scale bandits. When they returned, the party set off towards a forest a few hours southeast of the town. Ste'yn used this time to reach out to Glia, the woman they met in Hazelford, whose family was from the decimated town of Cadence. Glia had her baby sister Rosie with her, but she confirmed that Cadence was attacked by Daisy, and her family was missing. Ste'yn recalled the name Daisy from one of the missing persons notices in Hazelford. Paoli and Ste'yn brought the Vivere to a spot in the forest that seemed acceptable for their purposes, and they began their casting. A portal entrance appeared, and without delay, Snow, Viola, Ste'yn, and Beau made their way inside and into the Fey Realm. So, the four of you, hand in hand, some more enthusiastically than others, march forward through the portal. You can feel this plane of light that you step through that has these colors swirling through it, a lot of these earthy toned colors of greens and browns, and it's streaked with these lines of silver. As soon as you touch it and go through it, you feel it almost splash across your face as if it were liquid. And as it does, the colors become brighter around you. Everything feels as if it's clinging to you. The water sensation becomes a more viscous, as if clinging to your skin, not wanting to let go. The air that you breathe in excitement passing through, even feels laden somehow, just fuller of something that you don't quite understand. But it's all happening in an instant as you feel yourselves crashing through this otherwise not so tangible barrier. I need you all to please roll me a wisdom saving throw.
15.
16?
15.
I got a 14.
Only a 15? As you break through this barrier and you're now at least consciously somewhere different than you began, you also feel the world around you changing. You're no longer stepping on the soft, moistened earth from the rainy forest behind you, but rather you feel your feet splashing a bit as you come to a steady halting. The sky is really bright for just a moment. You almost think you've been blinded before everything starts to settle down. And now around you, you can see this forested area. You see these twisted, gnarled trees, but they're not ugly and grotesque in how they twist and turn, but rather it almost looks like a living painting. There's thick branches with great big knots the size of your faces in the sides of these trees. Their leaves are this deep, vibrant, dark green that you've never seen this shade so pure, even in a famous painting. And what stands out the most in this area is that despite the sky itself looks a little bit dim, as if maybe it's heading towards twilight or dusk, it's a little hard to tell exactly what time of day it's trying to show. So you've got this like richness in the blue in the sky. The grass itself has a gentle golden glow in some areas on it. That's not coming from a sun, but it appears to be coming from these little glowing yellow fruit hanging on some of these trees. What you then notice, because it's hard not to, is that you four are standing in the middle of what seems to be a river of flowing silver. You can look down and you can't see your feet clearly through it. It is just a solid silver color.
We all get mercury poisoning.
Exactly. Can you roll Constitution for me? But it's just flowing and burbling like a normal active river, just made of silver. The shore on either side of you, as you stand in the center, is at least 60 feet or more on either side of you. But the water seems to be coming up to your ankles or calves or so. Actually, everyone also please give me a quick perception check.
21.
28.
13.
Strong 5.
Wrong 5. Snow, you don't need to hear anything. You are basking. You are in heaven right now. Everything is so beautiful, vibrant, glowing, full of life that it completely entrances you. The other three, Beau, Ste'yn, Viola, you guys hear Tienin's voice right behind you. Just a small, oh dear.
What?
What?
When we turn around, is he there?
You look behind you and you just see the continuation of the river going further another direction into this large forest. What you also see, two things on either side of this river. You can see on one side, there's a figure sitting there. It appears to be a humanoid shape, but a feminine humanoid shape, but her skin appears almost like it's made of little twisting leaves and vines, small pastel flowers kind of prodding out from her fingertips, some ringing around her like it's jewelry, others as if it's just part of her skin or her hair. Her golden eyes are watching you from across the river on one side. She's leaning delicately against one of the trees, seems to just be watching you and smiling. And as she smiles a little broader, as if noticing you've noticed her now, and you can see her teeth. They are these bright little, they look like bright stones in her mouth, just purer white than you've ever seen. And on the other side of the river, who rolled higher than a 20?
Ste'yn and Viola.
Okay. Beau, you at least noticed this creature on the other side. The ladies, as you're taking in your surroundings, you wouldn't have spotted it. It just seemed almost too mundane around everything else. But gently prowling between two of these large trees, stopping for a moment to lift little black and white paws up to one of the trees, you see what appears to be a black cat. Has a little white around its nose and just the top of its mouth. Its paws are a mix of black and white between its little toe bean nubbins. And as it lifted itself for a moment to kind of scratch at one of the trees, you could see some white on its belly too. It seems to be minding its own business over there. What are you four doing?
So right now we're just standing in the middle of this river.
Correct.
Snow puts his hand down into the river to try to get some of the silver in his hand. Does it seem like water that is like the color of silver, or does it seem like this is liquid silver?
As you lift it up and take a scoopful, it does appear to be just water, but it's an opaque like silver. Give me a perception check, Snow.
Natural 20.
You look at the water, kind of observing, trying to figure out more about it, and you can see your reflection. It's wobbling a little as the water moves, of course, but otherwise it's a very clear reflection. And you can see your face, this excited smile. You're beaming as you look at it. And then as it sloshes again, as you're sort of stabilizing yourself against the rush of the river, the face in the water changes, and you're looking at yourself. Your eyes are reddened, puffy, as if you'd been crying. Your bottom lip is quivering, and you can see, you know what it looks like when you are lost in some deep thought. There's a thought that this image has in its mind as you're looking at it. and you know what thought would bring you to an expression like that. It's now sitting in the forefront of your mind, kind of dimming the otherwise excitement in this area.
Beau's gonna make his way towards the land.
Viola's headed towards that cat.
Let the party, let's go! In the Fey Realm!
Well, is the cat on land or is it in
Yes,
the water?
the cat is on land.
On one side of
there.
the river.
On the
figure
opposite
is
side
on
from
other
the
side of
lady.
river.
Yeah, he wasn't going towards the lady. So, whichever direction is not towards the lady is the direction he is going.
Okay, so you're both headed to the other side of the river. Okay, I need you both to please make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
That's a 7.
That is a 24.
Viola, you start moving towards the cat. As soon as you're on one foot to lift it, you are then the water crashes into your foot and you are sideways and you are being dragged down the river. You are prone and in the water, struggling as the water seems to have picked up. As you're floundering to kind of get your balance, you realize where you are now in the river is not some kind of like sandbar, or maybe you were previously standing on one, but it is deep now where you are being dragged. You are being pulled down the river.
I could use some help!
Try to grab her and help her.
In just a moment, Beau, you start making your way across, and seems easy enough to you. You start making your way towards the shore. As you are getting there,
Don't scare the cat away, Beau.
I mean, he doesn't have great animal handling.
Leave the cat alone, Beau.
He
As
didn't
you
even know
start-
there was a cat over there. He was just walking away from the
True.
lady.
He was going the opposite direction of her. Beau, as you start going, and you can feel the pressure of the water at your feet, but you're able to start making your way towards the shore. You feel like there's something kind of stinging around your feet, though. What's your standard movement?
35.
Yeah, you get about halfway. Ste'yn, you're going to try and help Viola.
Yeah, I try and keep my friend from floating away, being carried away.
Okay. You now can kind of see that the water is getting a little dangerous. You're not quite taken by surprise. I need you to please I'll allow a strength, athletics, or a dexterity acrobatics to keep your balance as you reach for Viola.
Cool, we're going for acrobatics.
The only thing I can think about right now is the fact that Viola just got a new journal after the last one got ruined in water.
Beau was
and now
talking
she's
about getting
been
you
to
a
drink
more
again.
adorable one, but you were like, no, I want something pretty. So this is the exact situation he was talking about.
That's a 21 on acrobatics.
You start making your way instantly, and you are moving fast because you can still feel your heart thumping. One, from the adrenaline of her suddenly off her feet, and two, from that wonderful long rest potion you took. You are able to quickly run up and catch up to her. You're not quite sure why she doesn't seem to be able to get her standing or her balance. You seem to be doing it just fine. What is your armor class, Ste'yn?
19.
Lovely, I love that for you. Cool. You start reaching and you grab hold of Viola to steady her. You feel this little bit of kind of scratching, poking, or something along your arms that are kind of half in the water, just keeping her stable and trying to help her on her feet. You feel something kind of pricking at your arms. Viola.
It's gonna be like a 32 to hit.
I know, I was
It's
gonna say.
not. It's only a 20.
Yeah.
Well, as luck would have it, that's my exact armor class, so.
Wild how that
Was that
keeps
only your
happening.
exact one when you have your swords drawn?
Yeah,
Oh, your swords are not drawn right now.
right. It adds it.
Maybe it would help. You could dig them into the
regardless of it.
ground.
Viola,
Definitely wouldn't be a bad idea.
To Viola, it's deep, so I don't think that she can reach any sort of ground.
I guess it's true.
And she's wearing heavy armor. Maybe she'll reach the ground eventually when she starts sinking.
Viola, you also feel all over your body these bits of pinching and scratching. You're going to take 11 points of piercing damage.
Oh my gosh. This water kind of hurts, guys.
I'm trying to get you out of it.
Snow, what are you doing?
He dropped the water. He would be distracted at first by the woman. Is she doing anything or just watching? Does she
She has
react
not-
at all?
She has not moved since
Okay.
this
Is
all
she a
started.
pretty
She's just
woman?
watching. I would say so. Pretty
Certainly sounded
woman,
that way based on the
walking
description.
down the bank, pretty woman.
At the sound of his friends needing aid, he will try to make his way over to them as well.
Okay, so you're moving towards
Girls.
towards Viola. Okay, perfect. What are you doing as you make your way over there? You also know, you can feel the water has picked up. You've seen them kind of having to brace themselves, so you're prepared to kind of brace yourself as you move. So what are you doing when you get over there?
Does he feel the same tingling, whatever, biting, pinching under the water?
Yes, you do. You start moving, kind of keeping your balance, moving a little bit slower, but making your way. And you start to feel this nipping and biting at your feet and ankles as well.
But he can't see what it is because the water's opaque.
Correct. Or so it appears. And you will take 13 points of piercing damage.
Ow. All right.
Grinder.
But you can still take, do what you're going to do.
In that case, I'm going to cast Vortex Warp on Viola.
Beautiful.
She's willing. She doesn't want to be down in the drink.
He puts her on the shore on the side with the woman, not the cat, because he didn't see the cat. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he would like the cat, but I rolled a 5. Sorry.
He only saw the pretty lady.
This is great.
Josh is excited for the cat. Snow doesn't know that there's a cat.
She starts swinging back into the water.
Viola immediately.
Wrong side.
The cat.
I'm not teleporting you again.
You're on your own, Katie.
Thank you. She will get out her rope out of her book bag and just like prepare to like throw it out to people to help them cross.
Okay, you've got your rope in hand, getting a quick knot ready to secure anybody who needs to have a handhold. Excellent.
She'll also just look over at the lady and be like, "Hi, how's it going?" Now that they're on the same tide.
How close did you put her to the female figure?
How far away was the female figure?
She was leaning up against one of the trees that's closer to the shore, maybe another 15 feet from the riverbank, but that full, like, it's the 60 feet and then another 15 after that. But the rest of the shore, like, there's a whole riverbank you could pop her next to.
Yeah. Probably just put her like 5 feet away, 5 to 10 feet away from the water. So that, like,
In
she's
front?
safe on the
Okay.
shore, but
Okay.
not like next to the other person.
Okay, yeah. The female figure turns her head towards you and smiles with those very marble-looking teeth. She lifts up a hand with very long and delicate fingers and gives a little wave.
Do you know why the water hurts?
She giggles. And you almost think for a second that it's not her laughter, but rather it is like a wind chime that's been pushed by a little spring breeze. There's all kinds of fun things here. Welcome! And she looks back
All
at
right,
the others
Pennywise.
in the water. They all float
Yeah,
there.
that's how it's sounding to me.
And now that you're on the shore, Viola, it almost seems as if it's more exciting, and she kind of starts to weave a little bit, bob a little bit back and forth. And she looks back out at the water. The
Not
three of you.
100% sure of your idea of fun.
Is this fun?
No, Ste'yn, this is not fun.
I'm having fun.
Don't listen to her.
Beau, you were still making your way to the shore, or are you stopped by the commotion?
Well, if she got warped over there, then he'll start going that way instead. So he doesn't want to deal with this water more than once, hopefully.
Okay. So you start making your way back.
Yeah, I guess if he's able to reach it, he'll grab the rope that she threw out too.
Let me look, because I don't think she has 60 feet anymore. I want to say it's like 55 or something.
Yeah, in one, if
She's
you're
got
not
44.
Beau, are you like rushing, dashing across, or are you going your standard pace?
I think he'd be going
Yeah,
as much as he can do, anyway.
So essentially a dash.
Yeah, like he's not trying to be so fast that he's like neglecting footing, but as
Yeah.
much as he's able to like go is what he's doing.
A dash, yeah, a dash action in this case. You wouldn't be going so fast you're neglecting. You're just capable of running that quickly. You're still not quite sure why Viola was flopping around so much, as if there was nothing under her feet, because you are running across this river that is still kind of pushing at your feet. You start running. Viola, did you actually throw that rope out to help, or are you holding off?
Yeah, well, she would do as much as she can, because I could tell you're kind of going like turn-based or whatever, and so whatever she could do, her intention is to throw it out if she wasn't able to throw it out yet.
Okay.
But she's also not going to throw it out if it's not going to be anywhere near reaching any of them yet, because if she throws 44 feet of rope out and they're all 60 feet away still, nobody's going to be able to grab it, and it's just going to float away.
Assuming that he's getting half his movement with his dashes, he can go about 52.5 feet in a turn.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're able to get back to kind of that middle ground, and 35 going back. Yeah, you're able to get essentially halfway to the other side, which, Viola, that would be within the range of the rope if you wanted to give it a throw.
So yeah, she would throw it out.
Give me a dexterity.
That's an 11.
Beau, you see her launch out this rope. It's a little short, and the river really wants to pick it up and run with it. Please give me your own dexterity acrobatics, if you please.
Alright. Okay, use that inspiration that you gave us earlier. So that is a 18.
Beautiful. Yeah, you see her throw. You know she's more strength than she is aim, so you kind of are able to catch where it's headed. You're able to grab it well before it gets away from you, and her strength is enough to kind of take your lithe body and help you the rest of the way, as you are still feeling a bit of pinching and prodding around your feet in this silver water. Snow and Ste'yn, while he's being helped to shore, what are you guys doing?
Ste'yn's going to reach out for Snow's hand because the water is getting rougher. Let's make our way over there.
I assume she's pointing to the shore where the others are going to.
No, sure, it's the cat.
You're the cat.
No, we're going to get the
She
cat.
saw the cat.
Ste'yn, go get the cat for me!
Just to clarify.
Yeah, you can always vortex warp the cat if they point it out to you.
The cat, Willie.
Give me that cat. Get
We're
over
not
here.
getting the cat right now. We need to get ourselves out of here.
Yeah,
Okay.
make our way to the shore.
Yeah.
Excellent. As you're helping Snow and holding on to each other. Whoa! Wow. A 1 and a 20. That's magical. Guys, Snow's about to faint from the water that he loves so much.
If only we had someone who could do something about natural 20s that are rolled against their party members.
That was a natural
you know.
20.
We're gonna sentinel it because we're gonna turn it into a normal hit.
Excellent. That's another 14 points of piercing damage. As something gets in real nasty onto like your Achilles, like it stings as something seems to bite down.
Can I take an action?
Yes.
I am going to cast color spray straight down into the water. So 15 foot around me. Constitution saving throw or be blinded.
Okay. Let's see. Oh,
Let's dazzle this
fantastic.
silver.
It's bedazzling time.
Make the whole place shimmer.
It rolled a 3. I don't
is
think that
blind.
succeeds.
Until the end of my next turn.
Fantastic. As you two are making your ways across the rest of the river, Beau, it's easy enough for you to make it onto shore. Viola, are you lending another helping hand, or are either of you helping them? As you see them, they're about halfway across now.
Beau doesn't
She'll
have
toss
strength.
out the rope again.
Okay. Viola, give me another dexterity acrobatics, please.
That is a 12.
Okay. Whoever is grabbing for the rope, please also make a dexterity acrobatics.
Ste'yn will reach for it. That is that's a natural 19 for a 21.
Yeah. The two of you have spent so much time together as she's clung to you like glue since you've met. You can essentially predict how she throws, how her aim is. She just veers a little bit too far to the right sometimes when she's trying to aim, and you're able to catch the rope midair. Snow hangs onto you, as per usual, and you strength your way the rest of the way across the water. As you continue to feel bits of nipping at your feet and your ankles, your shins, wherever the water is, it doesn't hurt you, it's just annoying as you finally make your way up the bank and onto the shore. And you hear this excited clapping coming from the feminine form, whose entire body is mainly green, with these little ploofs of other colors spread about her. And she has the widest grin on her face as you four kind of plop down in what appears to be the safety of the shore.
How's Snow looking?
Yeah.
He's looking a little bloody on his feet. Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna give him a first level cure wounds as we're getting out.
Do those
you're
things
gonna
get you too, Snow?
You can see like his feet and lower legs are probably bleeding profusely.
Just these little
like 18 hit
dribbles.
points back.
Thank you.
By this point, you can't see anymore where those little drips of red swirled and mixed with the silver, still entirely opaque as it's drifted further down the river.
Anyone
According
else
to
been
this
feeling-
lady, that was supposed to be fun. I'm okay for now.
Maybe she should go swimming.
That was fun.
I'm getting mixed signals on if that was supposed to be fun or not.
Not fun.
Ste'yn, can't you decide for
Ste'yn,
yourself yet?
Not fun. What was fun was the cat on the other side of the river that I was headed towards, but now I'm over here. I'm very
there's a
thankful
cat?
for the help, but yes, there's a cat over there. Viola will point in the direction
there's
of
a
the cat.
Little black
There.
one with white paws.
You turn to look, Viola, to point it out to them. The cat is not there anymore.
I missed it. Hello, I'm Snow.
Hello, Snow. What a wonder.
What's your name? You look amazing.
Thank you. It's good to know you, Snow. Who are you all?
And what was your name?
Me?
Yes.
I go by many names.
So
Which one
what's
would you
one
like?
of them?
What's your favorite?
My favorite? I think my favorite is Leandra.
Neondra?
Leandra.
Beautiful name.
With a common L.
Hmm.
Was that supposed to be funny? I don't get it.
And she just giggles more.
Well, my name's Viola.
Viola.
With the common V.
We seem to be sort of lost here. I don't think our travel went as it was supposed to.
Oh, I guess we don't have a direction, do we?
Where are you
Whoops.
No.
going? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Well, we don't know where we were going here.
You don't know where you're going, but you wound up here.
Kinda.
Trying to
Sounds
get
like
Pretty
somewhere.
fantastic.
Yes.
If you tell me where you're going, I can help you get there.
So,
Snow
what
is-
exactly are you?
I don't even know your name.
Okay, it's Beau. What are you?
Liar, liar, pants on fire. What's your name? And she turns to look at you, Ste'yn.
Ste'yn.
That's very pretty.
Yes, it's like me. Quite pretty.
You are very pretty. The color of the water looks like it would be beautiful in your hair. You should
I
dip it
think
in.
That's a terrible idea because the water hurts.
The water doesn't hurt. It's just water. Silver and beautiful, glowing and full of life.
Life that
No,
wants to
it
bite
Full
is.
us.
of life.
Life is hungry, just like you. Are you hungry? I'm a little hungry.
We just ate recently. Truly, we're fine.
I need all of you to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yes.
happy
no,
this
you may roll with
isn't
advantage.
charisma.
Oh,
As
where
long
am I
as it's
going?
not charisma, I'm good for now.
I'm not charisma this time.
My die rolled away.
I got a 9.
Ooh, that's
18.
21.
18, 21.
16.
Excellent. She's saying these words, Beau, and you're watching her still from her previous comment. And suddenly, in the pit of your stomach, you feel like you haven't eaten in 3 days. You are incredibly hungry.
Oh boy.
And generally what that means for you is your heart is kind of racing a bit as you're standing by the others who have, they're still kind of blood pumping from the adrenaline of getting themselves out of the river. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. I should make it a disadvantage. I'm not going to.
I got a 1.
You have the need. If you do not drink very soon, somebody's going to get hurt, and you can feel that. It's like a heavy thought that's just now weighing you down, as if the air itself is weighing heavily and telling you this. You need to drink, like now.
Can you do booming blade on her?
You're going to attack
He's
her.
attacking.
Yes.
Ah, very interesting. Okay.
Well, you said
You
that he
can.
needs it immediately. She's the one that made him
Yeah.
hungry. Not that he knows that. But,
Yeah, you can roll
I'm sure
to
the
attack.
treat person is gonna have lots of good blood.
well, he doesn't know what she is. He just knows where she's from. Oh, that one's
Happy
actually
Halloween.
pretty high. That's a 22 to hit.
A 22 hits. Roll your damage.
Oh, dear.
That's the first time I've ever heard him sound like upset about that.
Okay, so it's 3 thunder damage. And as she moves, then she'll take another 2d8 thunder damage. And then it's going to be 6 slashing damage. So 9 total damage. It's just 2 different kinds.
I suppose you would even necessarily should have had advantage, I guess, because she's prone, yeah? She was still sitting on the
Oh,
riverbank.
she's prone? If he had advantage, she would also take sneak attack damage. I didn't
Please.
roll that before, but wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
checking,
she was
'cause I
sitting
got-
prone on the riverbank talking to you guys.
She would have taken an additional
Mhm.
7 slashing damage.
You strike at her. You bring out your blade to slice with the intent of drawing blood. And in fact, you do. You watch as it starts off looking kind of amber colored-ish. Before your eyes, it seems to take on this kind of glowing, pulsing, deep, rich red color. The three of you just see, as she's kind of defending a little bit against the strike, you see that amber colored blood that seems to seep down her arm.
Oh,
What is that about?
What on earth?
go and try to pull Beau off or away.
In the full of your turn, though, Beau, you've struck her. Are you going to? Is that
So-
something you're able to do at the same time? It's just.
So if we're doing like full turn economy,
Mhm.
he technically also has a dagger with the nick feature.
He's like, how do I get as much? Honestly, with a nat 1, days you've not eaten is how you feel.
So I
if you
guess
need
he
it,
will
take
go
it.
at her with the nick dagger.
Okay.
And I
Take
guess if she-
inspiration. I
and she's
appreciate
still
you
just
rolling.
lying. She's still prone, right?
She is still prone.
All right, then that's. Oh no, it's a 24.
That hits.
No, 25. But
That
yeah,
definitely hits.
that'd be 5 piercing at that point. Does he register at all that he went from not being hungry at all to being super hungry in like a moment?
No.
Okay.
Okay. You strike. In your frenzy, you lash out again. There's another cup formed, even deeper. More of that liquid gold is coming out of her arm. You're watching it dribble down and still right in reach. It's right there for you. What are the three of you doing?
Trying to pull him back because we don't know exactly what's going on. Anyway, Ste'yn can recognize that he's hungry, or that something like that is what's going on.
If you
From
want
what
to take
he's
the time,
told her.
If you want to take a moment, you can use an action to insight.
Oh no,
she'll
passive
use her
might be
movement
enough
to
to
get
see
up.
his eyes.
What is your passive again?
17.
That is pretty good. I don't know about seeing his eyes.
You saw him with the deer, or the aftermath of the deer the other night.
Yeah, you are or have been on the lookout for something that might seem unusual. And while Beau is testy, he's not a randomly lash out necessarily if she's not purposely evil testy. You can do the insight check. It will not cost you the action.
Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you have a problem on your hands.
Cool. Then go up to Beau, and for my action, I'm going to cast Command on Beau. So,
Okay.
Oh, I have to make a roll, right?
Yep,
Mhm.
Wisdom save, please.
All right, well, I failed. I got a 4.
Ste'yn tells him to halt. And for your next turn, you don't move, you take no action, you take no bonus action. That was her action. Her movement is getting up towards Beau, and then, yeah, don't really have a good bonus action for this other than just sticking her arm out between Beau and the creature.
Maybe this would
Daria
teach the
style.
creature not to make random people hungry.
What
You
have
never
we
know who you're
learned?
making hungry.
Yeah, Beau, in your mind, there's now this conflicting compulsion that still feels like the air itself is weighing down and impressing this information upon you that you should withstand this absolutely murderous hunger in your belly and halt. So you stop moving closer, despite that the blood is right there, a mere foot from your lips. Right there. But you halt.
What just happened? She has no idea. Typically,
have
she'd
to.
go help whoever Beau just attacked, but she doesn't really like this lady either, since she thinks the prickly water's fun.
Her choice of fun makes her unlikable.
Poor Ste'yn
And
is like,
therefore
what is
worthy of
fun?
I'm guessing that Ste'yn's probably standing like kind of to one side of Beau, so Viola's just gonna move to the other side of Beau, so they've kind of got one person on each side, and just I don't know what she wants to ready an action to do. She wants to ready an action to grapple Beau if he starts acting crazy again, I guess.
No reliable grapple.
Snow, is there anything you would like to do at this time?
He is going to try to help her away from Beau.
She's very light as far as a creature goes, and she accepts your help to stand and move back from the others. Her eyes are on Beau the entire time. Give me an insight check.
14.
She doesn't appear to be scared as her eyes stay on Beau. She seems to be a little bit, while her face is still kind of just smiling and whimsy, really honestly would be up your alley if the situation weren't so odd. She also seems a bit stalwart. She seems focused, almost
Is she concentrating?
validated.
Oh,
Not concentrating.
valid.
Almost
So it's like,
validated.
did she
I was
make
looking for a
con
word.
saves?
Snow is going to ready an action. Trigger being if Beau moves, it attempts to.
Oh, wait,
move
you
closer
moved her?
to her. Yes.
Oh yeah.
She gets she takes damage then
There's
if
another
she
like
moves.
rattling of thunder.
Yeah, I
around
just
her.
realized that. She took another 11.
And even as you kind of see her shake, and there's this kind of vibrating and this thundering clap where she was that kind of pushes her back a bit more with you, she still doesn't seem perturbed.
She doesn't look bloodied or rough.
No.
All right, gonna ready an action if Beau moves closer to her or attempts to attack anyone. If he makes a hostile action of some kind, gonna cast Vicious Mockery on him.
And so he's halted for this one. Ste'yn will take his arm next time she has a chance and just like, I guess, grapple him, but try to just hold him. That way he can't take off. And lean forward and hiss in his ear, if you need to bite somebody, you'll bite me. And then she's gonna look at Viola and say louder, go help Snow.
Did Viola hear any of that?
Reaction,
Because she has been paying very close attention to Ste'yn, kind of mirroring what
Ste'yn
she's
was
doing.
trying to keep it quiet, that first part, just for Beau to hear. But I can roll for a stealth or something if you want for that.
Yes. Let's. Because Viola is pretty close trying to help hold him. For sure, she heard you tell her go. But yeah, we can do a stealth off, a stealth versus perception.
I got it at 20.
That was a 21 from Ste'yn on the stealth, which was a 19. So close to a nat 20.
Yeah, react how you will, but you definitely hear Ste'yn telling Beau that if he needs to, he can bite her.
Viola's eyes look like they're about to pop out of her head.
So do Beau's. Weird.
Yay.
And I'm guessing also with all of that, she's because of where she's at now in the situation, she's able to see Beau's eyes, and she's remembering the last, I think, 2 times now that she's seen Beau's eyes go red like that.
I don't know if it was
she
2
just
times, but definitely the one time.
And she's just going to very slowly start to move away and move towards Snow, and she's just like eyes wide watching Beau. She's not looking at Ste'yn at all. She's just looking at Beau and moving towards Snow. She gets over there. She doesn't really offer to help yet because she's just shocked right now, but she makes it over there to you, I'm sure.
Beau, with Ste'yn's incessant command and offer, and at least you know very well what Aasimar blood tastes like, and it's quite enticing that an offer to get what you want is right there if you want it. With that in mind, it is... Well,
Oh,
is
is
there
Snow
something...
doing something? Because he guided actions last time. I don't know if he was doing something different this time.
We're going to mix it up. We're going to cast Disguise Self, and we're going to look exactly like how Beau looks right now.
Viola is absolutely losing her mind now.
And he'll be like, Viola, it's me.
It's Fey sickness.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Leandra seems, at this point now, positively entertained by what's going on.
Excellent.
She's just watching her eyes, her bright gold eyes are bouncing from person to person as each of you moves, speaks, acts, whatever it is.
Alright, so then what were you asking me when I came back to me?
What you'd like to do.
Is he being grappled, or is he just, like, close to being grappled?
Ste'yn has a grip on his arm.
He's...
You are not technically grappled, I guess. Or
Okay, so...
you'd have to...
Okay.
She hopes her words are more powerful than having to restrain you.
Yeah. I feel like in this instance they aren't, though, so he's going to try and move forward.
Oh dear.
So I don't know if you want to enact grapple or something.
Can we enact grapple at that?
Go
You want to get
for
him
it. It will be contested strength athletics rolls.
That's a 19.
I got a 7.
Ste'yn's got a grip.
Grip. She did not miss arm day. Yeah, you hoped your words had a little more strength behind them, but luckily your muscles, in fact, do, as he starts to move towards the original source and you just grab hold of him. He is trying to fuss out of your grip and is not able to. It's almost comical. It's almost childlike and could have been almost comical if it weren't a deadly situation. I'll allow if Snow or Viola want to do one more thing.
I was just thinking, would Viola, with the information that she has of the bite knee and the red eyes, be able to put anything together? Because it's not like Viola has knowledge of vampires and what vampires are. If she's heard anything, I would feel like it would just be like fairy tales, stories, like that sort
I will
of thing.
allow.
I don't know. We're gonna use
At disadvantage,
the one...
please.
Okay, we're gonna use the same pair from before from the advantage. Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay. No, it's just really spooky.
Okay, so she's just, now that Snow also looks like Beau, she's just like extra spooked. Even if she's like, Viola, it's me. Viola's just gonna start backing away from both of them now.
Viola just runs into the woods.
Viola runs into a tree.
She's backing towards the woods, but she's just like, it's very slow. She probably wouldn't take all 30 feet of her movement, but maybe like 15 feet. But she's just like very slowly like backing away from everybody now, and her eyes are still wide and she just looks shocked. She's not really saying anything.
Okay. Wow, really? Again? That's magical. Another 20 and another 1. I don't know how I keep doing it, but I really like these dice.
Is that a 20 I can sentinel for something?
It's not. It's an action. Viola, can you please roll me with disadvantage a strength athletics, please?
Okay, so that's normal for me then, because I have advantage on athletics.
Excellent.
Well, it doesn't matter when I roll a 2, but that is going to be
Well,
an
remember, you
8.
could also do your second wind for ability skills.
So that is, well, I'm kind of scared of Viola getting sucked into the forest now, so that brings it up to an 11. I didn't roll it well on that D10 either.
Hey, it's
Okay.
higher than 10.
It is.
True.
You back up towards the forest, away from Beau, away from fake Beau, who is Snow. As you back up and you are pressed up against one of the trees that's kind of lining this riverbank, before you realize it, there's about 6 branches from this tree that snap into place around you, holding you against the tree.
We are not doing well here.
Having a great time in Feywild.
Welcome!
One person's captured by a tree, another person's gone insane.
Seeing
Mhm.
that Beau is not really paying attention to anything that's around him, Snow assumes that his disguise would do nothing. So
Maniac
instead, Snow is going to use disguise self again to make himself look exactly like the woman, and he is going to stand in front of her.
You hear a little bit of clapping behind you.
He glances
And-
behind him, and he glances over his shoulder and gives her a wink.
And as you glance behind you and give her this wink, you also see her fingers kind of splay a bit. The air around you, you all feel this for as much as you're paying attention to just your senses. The air does feel just laden. Not because it's heavy with moisture, like a storm is coming or something like that, or thick with pollen or whatever. It just feels laden as you feel it, and you have thoughts that just kind of swirl around your mind, and your heart is unsteady, even more so with all of what's going on. But for a minute, as she kind of splays her fingers, and there's a little bit of what appears to be like pollen kind of coming off her fingertips, it starts to kind of fill the air a bit around you. And it has this really sweet, really soothing kind of like, almost like a honeysuckle kind of scent to it. You all kind of get a whiff of it before it drifts away. And it seems to help as far as calming effects. Snow, the fear that you saw in your own face in that reflection in the water, even that's starting to kind of settle down now. You feel better than you did with that thought kind of holding you down. Viola, as you're watching Beau seem to lose his mind, and you're still unsure of what Ste'yn was saying to him and why this tree has now grappled you. Even there, you kind of feel like you could calm down a little bit. You needed to just stop moving for a second and breathe. You might be okay. Ste'yn, you still got a hold on Beau for as long as he's moving, but there's less fear. It's more, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to make all of this normal again. Get everything back to center. And Beau, the hunger seems to steadily fade from you. You don't feel as if you are starving and must feed. You are within sight of Fey blood, which is pretty enticing, but you do not have the absolute need to feed. You all hear the little bit of clapping as Leandra continues, and she kind of steps forward. So she's sort of center of this little semicircle of Ste'yn and Beau, Viola up against a tree, and Snow behind her. And she looks at all 4 of you. And as if nothing had happened at all, even with the blood still on her arm. So where are you headed?
Bull Swamp. We want to go to Bull Swamp.
That sounds like fun.
Can
You
you,
know how to get
actually
there.
help, like, at all?
You're still in the
Yeah.
tree, right?
Of course I can. She goes over to the tree and she kind of pets one of the branches as if it were an arm. And that arm or branch releases you, Viola, quickly followed by the other 5. And you realize what was holding you was, in fact, a living tree. Very similar to, well, that really nasty one that you had fought that one time.
Viola just, like, waves up at the tree and says thank you, and then, like, slowly walks as far away from the trees as she can. She's, like, trying to be in the middle of the tree line and the water because she doesn't really want to be close to either of them. She also doesn't want to be close to that lady.
As you step away, you hear a small little thud and you can see one of the fruits has fallen from the tree and rolls a little bit. It's a bit of a slope, bit of a slant, rolling towards your feet. There's now this yellow, this glowing, almost pear-shaped looking fruit at your feet.
She kicks it away. She doesn't want any of this stuff touching her.
Don't
She's
be
had
rude to
it.
the
She's
trees.
not. It was pretty, and she was excited to be here at first, and then things got weird, and she's not enjoying it anymore.
You kick the fruit aside, it goes, poof, pelts, splashes into the Silver River, floats away. This little glow that slowly gets sucked down below. Leandra again says, I can get you exactly where you want to be. I'm not
Awesome.
even mad.
That's very kind of you. Beau,
So-
what the heck?
What?
What do you mean, what?
Don't we
You
have
just attacked someone without provocation.
There was provocation.
No, she was literally just sitting there. He still looks like her, by the way. That has not
Menacingly.
changed.
Menacingly.
No.
I followed concerns.
And those were that she had a menacing sit.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's stupid and wrong.
Now. Aren't you four friends? Going where you need to go and being adventurers. That's what I hear.
Oh, have you heard of us?
Yes. Why else would you be here? I'm here to help you.
I don't understand how you have all this information.
Can I insight check her?
You certainly may.
I'm just looking for any indication of an ulterior motive, I guess. I'm sure there is one. That's a 23.
Okay. Yeah. It's odd that she would be very willing still, as far as you understand, to help and think nothing of being pretty viciously attacked out of nowhere. But she seems honest in that she can in fact help you and does not mind helping you, as if it were, she helps you because that's her objective. She maybe said she would. Maybe like it's part of a deal.
Viola looks at Ste'yn. Is there a way to do mind mail with Ste'yn and I can't think of the other one's name.
Holly?
Yeah.
I could try. I think sometimes across planes it's not necessarily, or realms it's not as likely to work, but I can try.
I trust them way more than this lady. Sorry, no offense, but
None taken. You're in a new place and it's very exciting and lots going on and you're not used to it. You could be,
Also,
though.
not that I've never called Beau a liar, but why did you call Beau a liar?
Because if you don't tell the truth, it's really only fair to say so.
And how did I lie?
I asked for your name.
Yeah, I'm not the only one using a fake name. So your truth
Oh,
detecting
really?
skills aren't very good.
Who else is doing it? Who else?
You should know, shouldn't you?
I guess I should. Was I wrong? Or are you saying that and confirming that, well, at least I got one right?
No, you got it wrong. I'm the one who's been lying about my name.
Shame. Ste'yn is a very pretty name. Beau's
It is,
a
but it's
pretty
also
name, too.
a bit too much of a pun when you put it with my last name. Staying alive. Who would really do that to a child?
Some very funny parents.
It's one way to describe them.
Aw, true.
Are you actually going to try sending a message to them?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out the right way to word it because there's not a whole lot of words I can send. So we're multitasking with the thoughts right
Would
now.
it be too much if I requested you to add more to this message?
Yes.
Depends on what you want added to the message.
Well, in theory, you might want to also warn them of the person you were keeping an eye out for last night.
Good idea.
Wait, who is that?
Who's what?
Who-
Who is staying
Who's
keeping an
what?
eye out for?
Well,
I'm guessing she who must not be named.
Oh.
actually, that's a
You
good
looking at the trees
question.
right now.
We
Can
should
save that.
try saying her name here.
No.
I want to know if it will work for her.
I don't think you get to try any more things today, Beau, to be quite honest. I think you just need to take a chill pill and relax a little bit.
I'm relaxed.
You probably noticed too that even though Viola's talking to you, she's not looking you in the eyes.
Viola, give me a perception check.
That is a 23.
You are dodging Beau's eyes and kind of keeping your eye on Leandra. And you notice that more than once in this conversation, she's set her eyes back on you. In particular, when they were talking about the names.
Snow uses his staff to try to grow some flowers out of the ground because he wants to see if they're going to be like fey flowers and do something interesting, or if they're just going to be normal flowers.
Isn't the staff
Higher
of
lows,
flowers
no?
you recognize or something? Don't you have to know the flowers?
Well, yeah. So like he's still like I'm gonna try.
Oh,
to
I
grow
see.
this
Like
flower
jaw,
here.
like make dandelions, but how the dandelions look here,
Right.
kind of.
But he
I
wants
see.
to see if it's going to be like a fey dandelion, or is it going to just be a normal dandelion?
You use your staff, a charge of your staff, to grow a flower out of the ground. What kind of flower? So you're looking for a fey flower, or do you have a particular flower in mind?
No, he's just going to do the standard, which is a daisy from the staff.
Okay.
But he's wondering if it's going to just be a normal daisy or if it's going to be different since it's growing in fey soil.
You watch as sprouting in quick motion out of the ground, you see this plush green stem come forward. The bud at the top sprouts, each petal unraveling essentially like a rolled carpet. And it looks pretty standard as far as a daisy goes. White petals and this fluffy yellow center. It gave itself a show, but overall it looks like a daisy.
Okay. He's still happy because it's still a daisy.
It is a daisy in fairy soil.
Ste'yn's going to try to send a message to Polly.
Howly it is.
Yes. And she sends the message. Lost in Fey Realm. Leandra offering aid. Can we trust? How to get to swamp. What to do? You may be watched. Be careful.
That sounds like you're threatening them.
You know?
What to
Doesn't
do?
even wanna
You may
say
be
the name in
watched.
mind mail.
The message goes through. You hear Pauli's voice in your mind.
Trust as much as any Fey. Be good. Don't say too much or little. She'll take you to the swamp. We'll stay unseen. Good luck.
As any Fae, we don't know about the Fae.
We know,
You know those druids.
All right. Ste'yn's going to look at Leandra. Yes, take us to the swamp.
Great. Wonderful. Fun. I love visitors. You look a little hurt, do you need to rest? We can go.
Nope. We can just go right now. I think we're good.
Okay, it's a bit of a journey, but
Why don't we rest?
No, good. I don't want to be here any longer.
I have a nice little house all my own with a nice little garden and this bench, and you can sit and relax in the sunshine when the sun comes back. Whoop. It should be here soon. Whoop.
Oh, it's nighttime?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's that like dusky kind of like you're not quite sure, but everything is just kind of weird here.
Is it not good to travel when the sun's not out here?
Well, if you can't see what's in front of your face, it's hard to travel at all. Let's go. And she starts to move. She almost seems like she walks on the tips of the grass as she leads you away from the river and through the tree line. And not too far in, there is this wide path. It looks like it is essentially paved by trail, creatures walking, animals walking perhaps, but it's a fairly wide trail, clearly well-traveled, very clear as it goes through the trees. You're not entirely sure how long you've been walking. It almost feels like, as you think about it again, it feels like it's taking a long time. And as you stop thinking about it, perhaps if you have any brief conversation, you kind of feel like you're much further along than you were. Leandra kind of chimes in every now and then. Visitors are always fun to have. We don't get very many in these parts. Do you know where you are?
No.
No, we don't.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
You're in the Illuminated Forest. Isn't it beautiful? She looks up, and as you've been walking, the tree cover, the canopy, has made it feel darker than it is, but each of these little glowing fruits on all of the budding trees, the sprouting trees, has given what feels like this warm candlelight as you guys are traveling. So you're kind of still unsure of the time of day, but now it feels as if you're walking on this beautiful, temperate summer evening. It's comfortable, though still, again, the air feels heavy to you. Every now and then, thoughts are kind of swirling through your mind. Can everyone please roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're doing good with these today.
I got a 1.
Oh, you have inspiration again?
Oh, you're right. I do. Thank you. Okay, rolling. Oh wait, no,
Also,
I don't.
I'm assuming this isn't a charm.
No.
8.
The nature of the place.
I should have rolled the same dice, but I got an 11 that time.
14.
Okay. As you guys are walking and you feel kind of just the presence of this space, a lot of thoughts go through your mind. Not all of them grand ones, but some of them not terrible. They all kind of feel like at some point in your life, you were proud to have kind of learned something. Like you caught on to something, for better or for worse. For example, Ste'yn. A thought goes through your mind. A moment that you learned a lesson and you didn't, for once, have to learn it the hard way. What is the thought that's going through your mind?
Probably a lesson she learned it didn't have to learn the hard way.
For once.
Getting her baby sister to smile at her. Just a little wave.
You realize that it takes a different kind of mannerism, a different kind of touch, something that on maybe the sadder side was not something you quite received yourself, but you figured it out in order to translate it and pass it on to your little sister. And it was you felt very good, very wise in that moment, even as a child. You had that warm feeling. Viola, what is one of those moments that you had? You had this really proud moment of like you learned this lesson and you did not have to learn it the hard way. It's a good lesson you learned.
Probably when she first started to be able to manage 2 swords on her own and kind of start to keep up with her father, even though he was definitely letting her win.
Mm-hmm. For just a moment, you thought, maybe I'm really getting the hang of it. And there was an instance in one of those sparring matches with him where you managed to parry his sword and your foot went out in just the right way that you watched him stumble. And if you had been just a little bit stronger, maybe you could have gotten him on his butt and you would have laughed so hard. And even when he could be tough on you, he probably would have grinned a little bit too. You didn't quite get there, but you were definitely able to hold your own and you felt great. You felt like a wise, skilled swordsman in that moment. Beau, a moment for you that maybe it wasn't a perfect lesson you learned, but you still felt good. You felt proud in that moment that you accomplished this thing. You overcame this obstacle.
And there was no repercussions, or is it just in general?
There could have been. Your role was a little wishy-washy.
Well, an
But you
obstacle
weren't necessarily left downtrodden.
Well, an obstacle that I overcame at the time where I didn't feel like he was left downtrodden was when he convinced his dad to let him join the guardianship.
Boy, and what a moment in your life that was. What a choice.
Oh.
But you know what? As you're thinking about it, while you may have regrets now, having seen what happens next, in that moment, you understood you were getting what you needed, which was a sense of that freedom. You weren't going to be chained down, so to speak, especially as a lot of people like to put it, the old ball and chain. You were going to live your life. You were going to do what you wanted. And you managed, of all the people, your brilliant father, you managed to get him to see it your way, for better or for worse. Snow, a lot has happened so far as you guys have arrived. And as you guys are walking, Leandra is starting to tell you a little bit about the nature of the Illuminated Forest. And you start to kind of lose track of some of her words as everything's kind of sitting on you a little heavier. But even in these kind of dampened moments, there is still something to be learned. There is wisdom to gain, is the feeling you have. And you recall an instance where you wish it could have gone differently, but you overcame the obstacle in the end anyway. What moment are you thinking about?
He'd probably be thinking about some of the recent battles that Vivere has had together, where he didn't display cowardice, where he actually contributed, even if it was just a little bit. Probably thinking about when they fought the tree, for example, and Ste'yn went unconscious, but he was able to wake her back up. Yeah, that's what would come to mind for him.
And even in the most recent battle, where you literally gave your life in order to make sure the others were okay.
Well, that wasn't the
you weren't
most
thinking
recent.
about
The dogs are the most recent.
the most recent.
Most recent was with Beau today.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, also that.
That was so many
No one
fights
died
ago,
there.
Bren.
Good. I'm not used to that. Oh no, my hook came undone. You think to the fight with the tree, especially with the tree that just grabbed Viola, and that springs to mind. And you know that there's a lot more you can learn. You know that there's more you can do. You're maybe not where you want to be as far as helping these people who have protected you and even as you died, brought you back to life to be with them and to keep fighting alongside them. There is more to learn, but you have had your moments and you have learned from them. So you are on your way. You'll get
Having
there.
more to learn excites him, so he will, and he still looks like Leandra. He gets distracted very often, but when he isn't distracted, if he's just listening to her, he does like try to mimic her. Like he tries to like walk next to her in sync with her pace so that they look identical. And he will be asking her about literally everything that they see. So she says that they're in the Illuminated Forest. He asks like what kind of trees they are, kind of fruit it is, if the fruits are good to eat, everything.
While you are a bit distracted to even get these answers and kind of retain it all, you are trying to listen. It's just there's a lot of happening in your mind and in your heart right now. But some of the things that you do pick up on, she explains that there are several regions, you might call them, of their realm, of this space. As far as she understands where you guys are, this is a place that is closely connected to the light. This is a safe place to be. It is, while it has its dangers perhaps, for those who are not paying attention, this one is still a place of overall good. It is a place for wisdom. One can learn so much if they just keep their eyes open and pay attention to what the forest wants to teach them. Before you realize it, you find you're walking in more and more sparse trees, and you are at this, looks like a little hamlet, but even smaller. There is one little hut in this kind of carved out region, this carved out area. It's a little hut with a little picket fence around it. It's surrounded in this sea of various wildflowers. You can see there's a little, in further back, there's like a pen. It looks like there are some creatures that are roaming about in there, feeding on some of the grass. Some are sleeping. As the canopy is no longer over your head, you look up. The sky is a rich, velvety, dark blue. There are little stars sprinkling the sky, not in any kind of constellation that you could even begin to recognize. And she looks back at the four of you and claps her hands. And she looks at you again, Snow, as you're still looking like her, for who knows how much time has actually passed here. We've got a long way to go. You should rest first. And then, when you've slept and you feel nice and comfortable, we'll be there before you know it. You can stay in my home. I invite you inside. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Your home looks lovely.
Thank you. And it looks like itself is a small but really thick, really wide tree. The roof itself is this blooming canopy. There are a couple of low cutouts that appear to be windows with some kind of glass surface to keep them separated from the outside. And the door is a large arch that looks like it was carved out, and there's a thick knot kind of sticking out, some carvings into the door. And she giggles again and starts drifting towards the door. Do you follow?
Beau's gonna nudge Ste'yn. Did they say if we can?
They
What did
said
they? Did the
that-
kids get back to you?
Only told me that she's trustworthy as any Fey would be.
What does that mean?
Don't say. I don't know, Fey. But she said said she'll take us to the swamp. I don't think we have another option at this point because I don't know these realms. You don't know these realms, and we need to get there. What I meant, what I said earlier. So keep that in mind.
What did you say?
I said I meant what I told you earlier.
That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
When you were attacking Leandra.
Oh, that time.
Viola's eyes go wide again, and she's looking at you guys.
We're a little back. Just
Give
having a
them some
conversation.
space. Give them some space. If you are purposefully trying to notice any other
I mean,
conversation.
Beau started this conversation mainly concerned about Leandra. That's because that's how he started this conversation.
That's fair.
I think we stay here for the night, or whatever time is passing. Time is weird here.
Do you have any books?
Me?
You talk to Leandra?
Yeah, he's looking at her.
He spins around. Yes! Yes, I do!
Do you have like a takeout policy?
No, you can't take it with you. You'll be gone in a flash. And then how will I get my book back?
You seem to know how to get around.
That doesn't mean I want to follow to your realm. Your place is silly. It's so weird over there.
Are there no books you're willing to part with?
What are you willing to trade?
Well, what kind of...
What kind of books do you have?
That's a good start.
All kinds. What
Can
are
we
you
see
looking
them?
for? Sure, come inside. And she has the door open, waiting to usher
No
you
goes
all in.
inside.
Yeah.
Snow's inside.
Are the others coming?
Yeah.
Beau went in.
The four of you walk in. Well, Snow charges in once again. You enter this very cottagey little living room. There is a thick sofa. There's a smaller chair. All of it seems to be made of either lush leaves or even grass, as if it were like a molded earth, or various types of flowers. One of the chairs just looks as if you are sitting upon flower petals. There are little lanterns hanging from the ceiling that give it this kind of wavering blue-white glow. And you do see there is a shelf that is not fully touching the ground. It looks like as if it were built as part of tree roots and is holding various books, none of which are in common, any lettering on them. There's a little tea set up already on a long table in the center. There's a rug underneath it that looks kind of velvety just by appearance, but it's also like a kind of gray brownish, like almost mushroomy looking. And you can also see you actually pass them outside. It looked like little wind chimes, these little crystals that were hanging on the outside, and there's two that are hanging on the inside, kind of opposite the ones outside. There are a couple of doors that are, well, there are a couple of doorways. You can see like one leads into a little kitchen, one leads into a proper little dining area, and then there's a set of stairs that wind along the wall and then disappear past the ceiling. She welcomes you in. She offers you some of the tea that's there, and she asks again, what kind of books are you looking for? What kind of stories do you want to hear? What would help you rest tonight?
Do you have any books on this world? History kind of things?
Well, yes, but maybe not as satisfying as you'd like. Most of our information, most of what we know is taught. It's wisdom known by the Archfey, spread to all of us. But I can give you a start. And she kind of flows her way over to one of the shelves and
so what kind of
plucks out a
library does
book.
an Archfey have? I'm assuming he
A
doesn't know what
great-
that is, so...
A great big mind full of knowledge, I guess. Is that what you're asking? Where he keeps his knowledge?
So he doesn't have any written archives either.
Not to my knowledge.
Is that how you talk to him or something?
No, it's just fun. Here. And she kind of shoves a book into your arms. It's relatively thin, you realize. And there's some scratching, scribbling on the cover of it. And each page, you realize as you open it, has just more of this scratching, scribbling that almost looks like cursive, like common cursive, but it's not common cursive. It's, well, when you look at it, it just kind of looks like scratching, scribbling. But there's also pictures throughout. You can give me an investigation check if you so please.
Snow is looking at the rest of the shelf. Does he recognize any of the languages? Or does it look like it's all one language?
Give me an investigation check as well.
Alright, so I got a 9 or a 14.
14, scratch your
17.
die. 17, excellent. Beau, as you're going through and you realize that this book at least that you're looking at, this scratching, scribbling that she said had all this information, it's just scratches and scribbles. It doesn't say anything in it. But the pictures seem worthwhile. As you're looking at it and you stop on one, you can see it kind of looks like a larger diagram of 7 oddly shaped blobs that she explains are the best way that she can describe the 7 regions of this realm. And then there's a lot of this dark scribble in between them all. So they're spaced probably about an inch apart, each one, maybe a half inch. The book's not that big. And it's just very distinct dark smudges between each one. In some pockets, you can see it was kind of brushed away, as if trying to pick up some of the smudge to bring back some of the light to it. But she explains that it is, all of these regions are separated and they don't really interact very much. Although, and she tells you, legend has it that once upon a time, far, far away and long, long ago, they were all together, like a great big hug. But something happened. Don't know what. Something happened. And now they're not. Although I think that's silly. I think it's always been this way. But it's not easy, I haven't done it yet, to go between these regions. Something in the way, something wishy-washy, but it's just powerful, whatever it is, and hard to kind of see through. So we stay where we are.
So the way that we have to go, we don't have to go through these.
No, you have to go back where you came from.
And we can
I'll get you there.
to that without having to cross one of these.
Yes. You got here because your friends asked me for help, and I was happy to help them. We help each other. It's a very nice friendship that we have.
And what do they do for you?
They help me.
How?
I don't think that's your business. That's between us, unless there's something you'd like to share, and then I can share that knowledge with you.
Like what?
What are you offering?
Nothing at the moment.
Okay. And she looks back at you, Snow, as you're looking at these books. You also notice that they are all scribble. It's not language. It looks more like a child just enjoying scribbling on things. But there are pictures in more of the other books. You find one that's about more of the flora. You can see what some of these fey flowers look like, and you can kind of take note of some of them. You don't have a lot of time to look through and get much detail and to kind of focus in on a single one.
Do you have anything about magic?
About magic?
Like enchantments?
What about it?
I want to learn more.
I get the feeling they don't grant a lot of things.
Nobody might can teach.
Well, teaching someone from where you're from would take a very, very long time. Unless you'd like to stay, I'd be happy to show you what I know. You'd be welcome to stay here if you'd like.
I would love to if we didn't have other business, but that is
I
a very
understand.
tempting offer.
Yes, please. If you ever feel the need to run away from all of the craziness that happens where you're from, you're welcome to come back here. We'd love to have you. I'd love to have you. It can be a lot out there. The dark gets so much closer than it
about
should.
the dark?
Oh?
Do you know anything about the dark?
How did you know that's what I was going to say? It's like you predicted me. Can you read minds?
I'm good at reading people, not minds.
I can read minds.
Can you? She turns immediately away from you, Ste'yn.
Mhm.
What am I thinking about right now?
He will spend a charge from his medallion to see what her surface level thoughts are.
You see yourself. You see her thinking about you, about reading her mind. You sense an excitement. See if you can actually do this. She seems intent for you to prove yourself.
You seem to be currently very interested in whether or not I can actually read your mind. And the answer is yes.
I mean, I don't
if
read
you'd like-
minds, and I could guess that.
If you would like to think about something else, I can tell you that too.
Let's see. What should I think about? What should I think about?
TikTok.
I've got it. She shuts her eyes.
What is she thinking?
At first, it's just cloudy. It's just blackness. You see the river again. The riverbank looks a little different than you remember from where you were. And you see the river looking like it is going straight towards a wall of like hedge of just like green, leafy, very perfectly trimmed block hedge. She squints her eyes shut.
He will describe all of that as he's seeing it.
She opens her eyes and they're very wide, her golden eyes, with excitement. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very good. Very
Thank you.
interesting. How do you use this type of magic that you have? What have you used it for?
To read people's minds. What do you mean?
Oh, what kinds of minds have you read? What have you learned?
Disappointingly little overall, I would say. But I don't know. I've done it on a few different people. It's a good way if you want to see if someone's lying. Because if you're reading their mind while they're lying, usually the person is thinking about the fact that they're lying.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
But also, it's just fun sometimes to see what somebody's thinking about. Because a lot of times people don't like to tell you what they're thinking about.
So you.
But this way, you can just know.
You just take it.
I mean, I take it as much as I take in my perception of you in this moment when I'm looking at you.
But without magic, if you were just looking at me, which is very nice of you to do, you wouldn't know about the river or the hedge. I would have to tell you that. So what if I said no, and I didn't want to tell you that? What would happen next?
I mean, you can fight against it if I try to go too deeply into your mind.
So you would use, for lack of a better word, brute force and just take the knowledge, even if I didn't want to give it to you?
I mean, I wouldn't do that unless I had reason to, and I haven't really done that to anyone, so...
What's your reason? What would be the reason?
If the knowledge was gravely important,
To whom?
if I needed it to save someone else.
Like whom? One of them? She gestures to the room.
Yeah.
I see.
I've saved most of them at some point or another.
Would you read their minds?
I have already read at least one of them, but I honestly don't really remember.
Oh. Did they want you to?
I don't remember that either. I do remember that Beau specifically asked me to not read his mind, and I haven't. You're welcome. I've been very curious though, so if you ever want to just tell me, you could do that. But yeah.
Would you
Insight
want to tell him?
I know he has it, but Beau doesn't know he has it.
Okay. We love insight checks against the party.
Well, there's a good chance he's gonna beat me. Yeah, he beat me. Got 11. I'm just
Seems truthful.
burning through these.
We love it. She looks at you, Beau. Well, what if he did read your mind? What would you do?
Depends if I knew it or not, I guess.
Oh. Would you attack him? Would you slice at him with your little dagger? It's a very sharp dagger.
That's for special occasions.
I feel very special. I feel like I've learned so much about you four just by watching you and listening to your exciting entrance.
We want to learn more too, though. We want to learn about this place and about you and anything that you know that might be helpful.
Helpful how?
I have no idea.
That's fair.
Ste'yn?
So,
Do you know of
I
anything
guess
that would be helpful?
you happen to
Because if
know
I knew
anything
it, then I would already know it.
That's true.
for information on perhaps how the dark works in this realm, or if you've heard anything about up-and-coming wannabe deities that are very fond of the dark and power. Because we think we have to deal with those back in our realm. And if there's knowledge to be gained here about them, perhaps will be useful to us to make sure it doesn't come and affect you negatively too.
No, I think we're quite safe where we are. You see, where all of the different regions are, they are a little bit closer one way or another, whether it's to the light or the dark. And then there are some places that are sandwiched nicely right in the middle. Perfect balance. Whoop. But it doesn't really affect us so much here. Like I said, you're safe here. I don't think there's too much to worry about unless someone were to bring it with them. And you didn't do that, right? That wouldn't be very kind as guests.
I assure you, we had no intention or desire to bring anything untowardly this realm.
What do you guys all consider to be the dark here?
If it's of the dark, it's the dark.
Do
No,
you
I know
have-
there are some funny little in-between kind of cases, but I only heard that through stories from our friends from your realm, like Pauli and Tianin, though they don't know very much about that from where they're from. But I've heard some story. I think it's all very silly. I think it's very clear. I think you'd know Dark if you saw it. Maybe not. Oh, don't look at me like that. It's not me. It's so silly. No, I made a deal. I said I would help you, and I will. You want to go to this swamp? We're happy to bend things a little bit and get you where you need to go. But if you're going to go, traveling this way can be a little tiring, and I want to make sure you get there well. That was my promise. So that's why you should
appreciate
rest.
Wait, so you said you would give me information on your relationship if I gave you information. Your relationship with Pauli and the other one.
Canon.
That one.
You must be such good friends.
What if I gave you information as an observed information? Would that work?
Observed. Observing what? I can observe things.
Observing your world.
Information about my world?
Information that I noticed about your world through observation that maybe you didn't notice.
Something I didn't notice. Huh. I'd be shocked to hear something I didn't know.
Well, it
I'm
doesn't
from here.
seem like you know everything.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Come on, dice. I only get down to like 6 of them. Okay. Persuasion, that's a 19 or 22.
Scratch it. Her eyes narrow just a little bit in a playful way, and a little smirk pops on her lips. You can see it grows into a smile. You see her little marble teeth showing. Okay, what did you want to know?
Why do you guys share? Why do you give them, or why do you help them? What did they do that you give them help?
Those two specifically?
Anything that's connecting you to those two.
Sure, if that's what you want to know. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well, with those two, they were some of the first that I met who were learning. You know about druids, I imagine.
A little.
Oh, that'll be a different information trade. But what I will say is that Pauli and Tianin are both elves, and they actually, as elves, have some connection to you. And I happened across them as they were learning, studying, making these bridges, you might say. We struck up a deal. I would be more than happy to welcome them in, teach them, help them, and they give me more insight on what's happening down there. I admit I can be terribly curious sometimes. They're very sweet, those two. And there's just something about them. Hard to maybe put my finger on, but I sense that those two have a part to play. They have a weave, you might say, in some great tapestry. Did that answer the question, or did I start rambling?
I mean, you just kind of sound optimistic.
Yes, I would say so. Very observant of you. Is that something you've observed in my realm?
No, when you were describing the barriers and domains of this place, since you don't know that much about the dark, might want to know that it's structured similarly. Did you know that?
Structured similarly how? Do you mean where you're from and where I'm from?
You said this realm was divvied up, right?
Yes.
Well, the dark is also similarly structured. That way, divvied up. You don't find that curious?
Give me an insight check.
Well, everyone else is in the room. Not any of them.
Anybody else want to help a guy out?
I mean, they could look themselves. They have eyes, but he got a 12.
Okay. She slowly nods her head, as if it seems vaguely interesting. Anything else you can share about this structure as you observe it? What do you see in the dark where you're from? Can you see the dark where you're from?
I've just done my research.
So you're not looking directly at it. You're not touching it. You're not in it, right? That would be foolish. That'd be just a story.
No, it's just research.
We've
explored parts of the dark before in our realm. At least I have.
He eyes you. There's a moment where, just a brief moment, Ste'yn, that you can tell there's a slight coldness for just
I wanted
a brief
to find
moment.
a way to end it and clear it out.
Of course. Don't we all? The dark and the light were never meant to touch. They're two separate, entirely opposite things. And yet, isn't it funny how they seem to have the same end, to destroy the other? I wonder if the ends justify the means.
They don't.
And yet, don't you want to vanquish the dark?
No.
Oh.
I want to
Then you're
protect the light. I want to protect people.
How can you do that if the dark exists?
You just defend yourself as needed. You don't need to conquer a place to defend yourself.
Now
I've
you
never gone
say-
out to search for dark creatures to slaughter, unlike some people. But I have protected my friends as best as I could when we were attacked.
Attacked? By what?
Different things.
Like?
We were attacked the other day, is that today? By lava dogs. Those are pretty fun.
What is a lava dog?
A hellhound.
What is a hellhound?
I like my name better.
A hound from the hells.
A snarling creature of lava and
Darkness?
Snow will use minor illusion to make an image of one to scale.
She sees it. She sees it, and she just leans in very close to your illusion. The tips of her sharp little nose, like almost touching it. And she looks back up at the four of you. You have touched the darkness.
Well, when it,
Ah.
jumps on you and attacks you,
It
Let's not make a
Has-
big deal of it.
what you gonna do?
it has truly walked through your realm. The realm of light. And you've had darkness walking in your shadows.
Shadows dark.
Shadows can be quite dark.
I think you're
Well-
thinking too much on this.
Perhaps. Perhaps it's time for rest. I think I have a lot I'm going to dream about tonight. Goodness. I feel like there's something about the four of you as well. Like you have something
It's special.
We are
something
quite special.
special.
it's just part of our charm.
Charm indeed. Charm that could light up any shadow. Well, would you like to be in, I can set up some sleeping quarters for you. It's very comfortable in here if you'd like, or I can set up a space. I have another room, and I can make sure there are some nice, comfortable beds for you. And if you need anything to eat or drink,
Whatever's easiest for you. We don't want to be an imposition.
not at all. You've been most wonderful guests already. Come. And you
Yeah.
see her start to make her way up the stairs.
Girl hasn't had many guests at all.
We've just been providing lots of thoughtful conversation.
So do you follow her upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. She guides you upstairs. There's another small platform with two doors. She leads you through one, and there's a very spacious room in there. It looks almost too big to be in this, even the large size of the tree, but it seems enough for the four of you. There are four just pillowy, soft-looking petals that are splayed out on the ground. They're slightly elevated again on more of what appears to be like, it looks like just a mound of earth covered in kind of a mossy bedding. There are small tables beside each one that looks like little crystal glasses. They're filled with a clear liquid, and one of the tables also has a pitcher on it that looks like it's something carved very smooth, almost marbly, that's sitting on one of the 4. This has a window cut out. It looks like it's a double window. It looks like it's open like a bay window. These walls are also decorated with more of those little will-o-wispy looking lights. There are fewer books on a shelf in here, but more that have these scribbles on them. Essentially anything else you might need. If you do need anything, although you look very tired, but if you do need anything, just knock on the door and I'll be right here. I have a very keen ear, so I'll be with you if you need anything at all. Rest well, and well, in the morning, next thing you know, you'll be at the swamp. I hope you'll come back and visit me. There's so much I've learned about you.
You're very kind.
Well,
Would love to come back. And if there's anything that we can do for you, since you've been so kind to us, anything you want to know, if there's anything we can do for you, be absolutely happy.
there's so much I want to know, and I'll be sure to ask you in the morning. We can sit and we can sip some morning tea and have a lovely conversation before you leave.
Delightful.
Wonderful. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Sleep tight. She makes her way back out the door,
Night.
closes it behind her.
We hear a latch, like a getting locked.
Give me a perception check.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. Ooh, that's a good one. We spam some guidance in that. That's a dirty 30.
I got a 16.
30, 30,
Dirty 20.
30, 20. Oh, is Snow not listening?
No, you didn't hear anything.
He's good. As she closes the door behind you, you don't hear a latch or anything like that. You do hear just a faint little tapping, almost sounds like fingernails on wood, but just a brief moment of that, and then nothing. Just the sounds of well, you're not really sure if you can call them birds. You've not really seen any yourself, but you hear little chirps, distant sounds. Reminds you very much of a night forest, but still somehow different, and still somehow very laden.
I was gonna climb out the window and sleep on the tree outside.
Okay.
Viola's been journaling since they got there, and she's gonna journal for a while longer before they go to bed, but she'll still go to bed in time to get a long rest in.
Beau, are you immediately going outside? Or
It's not
are you inside
immediately.
for a while?
First, he's going to transcribe one of the level 1 spells that he has. I guess he'll do color spray.
And
They
then
will
you-
lay awake looking up the ceiling.
Beau is gonna ask. I mean, I'm assuming he can ask something while he's just writing out a spell or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
nothing too intensive.
yeah, he's gonna ask. So besides saying saying that we can trust her as much as any other Fae, did they say anything about? Were you able to fit in the warning to them?
I did. I told them that they might be watched at least. And they said that they'll stay unseen. And that we should try to be careful not to say too much or too little while we're here.
Okay. Are you able to send them another message in the morning?
Could?
Good, like
Yes.
you. Okay.
Is there... What are you wanting said to them?
You know, just check in, see how things are going.
You seem awfully concerned about them. Which, I mean that's in no offensive manner. But you don't seem to generally have much care for those whom you interact with for only a moment or a short time.
Well, most people who I interact with for only a moment, I don't get the impression that somebody may try to kill them.
Alright. I will check in with them in the morning then.
Good. And hopefully they are alive and well. Assuming
More capable than I think we might imagine. They can bend portals to the Fey Realm. That's something.
yes, but they also got beat by a random band of bandits.
The random band of bandits killed Snow.
Okay. And the person I'm concerned about could do the same thing and then some. So, I think my concern is valid.
Never said it wasn't valid, I was just surprised that you have it.
What do you want me to say, Ste'yn?
Nothing, I will reach out to them in the morning. Don't understand you sometimes.
I'm being what people call nice, I'd say.
Is it nice, or is it worried that you'll carry the guilt of their lives if they die?
I'd say it's nice. Because how would I know if they died anyway?
We might not ever know. Speaking of people who might die, I think before I go to bed, I'm going to reach out to Glia again and try to tell her where to go to get some more aid.
Okay.
Viola, how's your
Shoot.
book coming along?
Fine.
Okay. Glad it didn't get ruined in the river.
I am as well.
Are we concerned that she might try to kill us in our sleep?
I mean, I will be resting, but I do not think I will actually find sleep. So if she tries something, generally perceptive enough to notice things. But she looks pointedly over at Snow. I will be resting.
He's asleep.
Out. And Snow, it was so easy for you to fall asleep. You've never been so cozy in a bed before, except maybe even at home, but at least like at home where you knew your sister was. You've not been this comfortable before.
Once he has the spell in there, Beau's also going to put alarm on the door.
Okay. Is Viola doing anything else, or she's just journaling tonight?
She's just journaling every now and then. She's probably given Ste'yn and Beau weird looks. But besides that,
Obviously, you're giving them weird looks.
Ste'yn certainly will notice once in a while. I don't know about
yeah,
Beau.
I was gonna say she's not like necessarily trying to hide it. It's just like absent-mindedly, because she's definitely writing about what happened earlier in her journal. And so as she's writing about it, she's just like thinking about things and then just keeps will keep writing and So I wouldn't be surprised if you noticed because she's not trying to hide
Beau's
it.
been writing, Beau's writing in his book, so he probably wouldn't notice, but so you're saying
Like
Ste'yn.
Ste'yn will probably notice.
Ste'yn definitely noticed.
She might have something to talk to you about that in a second, but we got our message ready.
Find Nora, say Ste'yn sent, ask for protection or way out of city. Yonai also trustworthy. Pike is not. Be careful. Can't message often.
You sense that your message gets across. You get a response from Glia. The response you hear sounds a little bit tired, but also there's urgency.
I will. What's happening? Everything is calm. Festival going on. Lots of sick. Should we stay or leave?
Should I stay or should I go now?
Ste'yn,
Hangs up.
because we're about to get a long rest, she will burn her 4th level spell slot to send another message.
Something is coming. Leave if you can. Otherwise, take refuge with Captain Nora. Keep yourself and Rosie safe. We'll help find family when we come.
You get another response immediately.
Okay, I'll try to hide here. I think that's safer. I ran a long way already after Cadence. I'm so scared for my family.
And it ends.
And Ste'yn can't reply to that. To that, Ste'yn will look over at Viola, who has been looking over at her every now and then, and she'll be like, Viola, is there something on your mind?
There's a lot of things on my mind.
Like what?
Oh, I'm just writing in my journal, writing a letter to my mom, and so I'm trying to update her on all the things that have happened since the last time, which was whenever we left that dark spot or whatever you want to call it and fell into the river. And quite a lot's happened since then. I'm trying to remember what all I even need to fill her in on.
Well, it's a good practice. But you keep looking over at Beau and I, and I'm not exactly sure why.
Viola looks over at Snow to see if he's sleeping and just double check. She might even nudge his leg a little bit to make sure he's asleep.
When you do that, he mumbles something in his sleep about moving trees and beautiful flowers.
Well, I mean, I guess there's no time like the present. Why on earth did you tell Snow that if he was going to bite anybody, he should bite you?
I think I told that to Snow.
What?
I
Did I say Snow? I meant Beau. It's been a long day in the Fey Realm for Viola.
Mensmore, if he wants to fight someone unprovoked, I can probably take him better than most people he face.
Are you being honest with me?
I think
Viola's looking at Beau too when she says that.
I mean, Beau's still writing.
That's fine.
He's listening, but he's writing.
I think I'm particularly equipped to handle Beau when he gets frenzied.
No, I'm not questioning that. I'm questioning if that was really the intent of what you said.
I'd rather him hurt me than someone else, particularly someone innocent.
Well, why were you hurting her to begin with?
I am doing spell things.
I think this place is messing with our minds a little bit. Do you feel that in the air? It's just...
Can you feel the love?
No, there's not love in this air.
Do you have an accusation you want to make?
I don't know. I've never heard of any other elves' eyes going red for next to no reason that I know of. And this is the second time I've seen it happen. And you attack someone out of the blue. And then Ste'yn's talking about you biting someone. Like, why would I throw a dagger? Yes, you do that frequently. But bite? I've never seen you don't even really like touching people, let alone biting them. Why would you want your mouth on somebody? It just freaks me out. And I don't know what it means.
That unsettled you.
I mean, this whole experience has unsettled me so far. And I feel like
quite a trip, you could say.
I feel like, and Beau, I don't want to accuse you of things that may or may not be true, but I feel like you have not been the most trustworthy, and I feel like you have a lot of secrets, and you have not shared all of them, most of them. Not that you need to share them all, I'm just saying.
When have I ever lied to you?
Oh boy. Even Ste'yn.
I don't know if she ever beat him in an insight versus deception check.
Well, she doesn't always insight check him because she's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, so directly to her anyway, lying to her.
Maybe once we're out of this place. Because I don't know, I don't like the way this air feels. I don't like how much Leandra seems to know just by looking and talking to us a little bit. I think she's going to help us get out of here, and I'm very grateful for that. But perhaps once we're in the swamp, we could have some better conversations about things that may or may not need to be shared and may or may not need to be known.
I mean, as long as everybody's being honest, that's all I care about.
As honest as we can be, I think.
Okay.
How do we know she doesn't mean to kill us in our sleep? This lady, Leandra, not you, Viola.
I kind of figured that you didn't mean me, but I guess thanks for clarifying and being honest. That is what I just asked for. I don't know. Why would, they said she's going to take us to Bull Swamp. She can't really take us there if we're dead. I mean, I guess she could drop her bodies off there and it'd still be the same thing.
She could have been lying about Bull Swamp.
You think that Pally is lying about it?
Don't know. She said to trust her as much as you can any other Fey creature. We don't know.
What does that mean?
Well, that's what I mean. We don't know what Fey creatures particularly are. I've heard about one thing, and it didn't sound trustworthy to me.
What's the one thing you've heard about?
Something that can alter its shape. It could look like people.
Well, heck, you and Snow do that.
Yeah, as an illusion. This thing just kind of molded, I guess. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Who did?
An associate of mine.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Beau.
What do you mean? I answered your question. I'm not lying.
But you aren't fully forthcoming. That's all I'm saying. I'm not pressuring you for more information. I'm just saying. I hope that eventually I will be able to gain your trust enough that you do trust me with full information.
Hey, well, an old associate told me about a run-in with something like that. And that's it.
Well, are you saying we want to do a watch, or?
Well,
Like
I'm
I
gonna
said, I don't
put
think I'm
something
actually
on,
gonna sleep, so
and I'll put
have an eye
something
on
on
your
the
elf.
door.
Are you telling me I need to try and sleep in my armor? Because I don't really want to do that.
no.
No.
Get your good sleep, and if something happens, we'll protect you.
Okay,
Trust-
sounds great.
I'm used to sleeping in mine.
I have not learned that skill yet.
Yours is also heavier than mine. I don't know if I could sleep in yours.
Yeah, once you get ready for sleep, I can put a spell on you for protection.
I put a spell on you.
It's not a joke, Vio.
Magic is serious business.
Listen, we're in the Fey Realm. We had river that was trying to bite us. She got hugged by a tree. We're in the house of a tree that's made out of a tree. I think it's all a little bit silly or absurd.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But yeah, sure. I love protection spells. That sounds like a great idea to me.
Alright, well, you'll need to get some rest. That we can be fresh to face whatever we face on the new day.
It's funny too that you have this conversation that you just started, because I was literally just writing about it. It's crazy how that works.
What conversation?
The conversation that we just had about the biting, because that's what I was just writing about in my journal, telling her about that whole thing and how I wanted to talk to one of you guys about it, but I wasn't sure who I was going to talk to. So I didn't even predict that right, because I was only planning on talking to one of you and I couldn't decide who, but now I got to talk to both of you.
That was a lot in a very few moments of what you just said. What exactly are you writing in that book of yours?
Everything I want to tell my mom about.
Can I see?
Are you all going to talk all night?
You decided to join us.
I'm trying to sleep. It is night. What are you doing?
Oh, the day wasn't
I have
that
too much
busy.
energy.
You're yelling. I'm lying right here.
Sorry.
You're probably keeping our hostess up as well.
Sorry.
Night.
Dawn might bring clearer thoughts.
May
Well,
dreams
I
be
guess
kind.
we should head to bed then.
Probably.
Okay, well, I guess while Viola gets de-armored, that's how her do the ritual of alarm on the door. And then when that's done, her do mage armor on her. So her AC would be 13 plus her dexterity modifier. I guess he'll give himself another charge of it as well. And then he'll slip out the window and sleep on a branch outside. Maybe once he's noticed Viola's fallen asleep.
You set everything up. 3 of you who are staying inside get on your pedal beds. There's glasses of this liquid on the little tables beside you, little round tables beside you, and you can see little bits of condensation telling you it's a nice, cool looking drink. So you're waiting until they have laid down and gone to sleep before you crawl out the window?
Primarily
Is it to
just
not
Viola.
be seen, or? Okay.
Well, 'cause
fair
she's
enough.
already freaked out enough that...
Fair. No more weird stuff, okay? No more weird stuff. So, Beau, as you normally do, not really a fan of being indoors in close quarters. You make your way outside. Can you please give me a wisdom saving throw?
13.
You crawl your way up and find a nice little spot. As you're looking, though, you reach the kind of canopy of this little tree house-ish thing that is... The whole thing kind of looks like it's the trunk, the bottom part of the trunk of some enormous tree. You get to the top of where it almost looks like it was cut off short, but there's still big growth in the canopy area. As you're looking for kind of a good spot, every now and then just kind of feels like you're getting poked, prodded. Could be by the splinters, branches. It's a tree, you know. Hey, 4 points of piercing damage. You find yourself a nice little cozy spot, kind of nestle yourself in, get comfortable underneath the stars. As you're sleeping, as you're resting, trying to get ready for sleep, every now and then kind of feel another little prod as if there's just a loose branch sticking out. Do 1 more point of piercing damage until you finally find a spot where you're just kind of still and feel cozy and comfortable. And you can fall asleep. You will get your full rest, all 4 of you. As the 3 of you awaken, I need you 3 to also give me a wisdom saving throw.
12.
That's a 10.
7. Gonna use second wind. That makes it a 17.
17.
Hey.
Okay,
Nice.
there we
Much
go.
better.
You all wake up, and even Beau, not in the pedal pod, where he got comfortable up in the leaves, it's still very plush. There's all night you had both the stars overhead, and even in the distance, there's just this subtle little glow from the little fruits that are on these trees, like a little nightlight that never bothers you. Beau, as you turn, ready to sit up and get ready for the day, you take 2 points of piercing damage. Ste'yn, you wake up from your pedal pod. You also, again, still feel very nicely rested. This, even without needing to sleep, the bed was just so comfortable. It was just surprisingly so. And then maybe you're not sure. Maybe you kind of turn a funny way. Maybe you're just not quite used to sleeping on the floor, which would be odd. You're not used to sleeping on something soft. Maybe that's it, because you're used to the stone out in the graveyard now at the guardianship at Gratimino. You're going to take 1 point of piercing damage. Snow, wonderful sleep in the pedal pod. Wake up, Also, maybe you turned funny. Maybe it was like the start of a Charlie horse or something. You're not quite sure. It's a bit of a poking pain somewhere. You take 3 points of piercing damage. Viola, you sit up, stretch. Oh, you feel fantastic. You are ready to get the heck out of this place, just get where you need to go and get moving and fix everything that's happening back home. But there's some extra kind of sense about you where the air has been that heaviness, that ladenness of thought. Something else just feels really off to you. You look around the room, everything is where it was. Your friends are where they were, except Beau. You don't spot him immediately, but everything looks fine, but something feels weird, feels off. But good morning, Vivere. It is bright. The sky is a pastel blue with almost cartoonish looking clouds outside, the wafting scent of the flowers from beyond the window, some animal kind of smells. Smells very natural.
Viola wants to just like go over to the window and like look outside and just kind of like look around and check things while she's getting ready to see if there's anything like out of place that would be causing her like sense of unease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You look around, give me a perception check.
17.
You look around outside and you're already not used to these overly saturated, even the pastel colors that are generally pale. It still feels oversaturated, kind of makes your eyes a little sore if you stare too long, especially as the sun is coming up, it's even more vibrant. You're kind of relieved that it wasn't so bright yesterday and the whole rest of your day felt like twilight. Nothing stands out immediately to you as the cause of any problem. Nothing looks out of place from how you saw it yesterday. It just feels weird, feels off.
Well, is everybody awake? Are we ready to get going?
I think we should be just about ready.
Where's Beau?
Probably in the tree outside. He likes to sleep under the stars.
Okay. Cool. More power to him, I guess.
So like how I like to sleep under graves or in graveyards, not under.
Under graves?
Nope.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Ste'yn. You should try that sometime for sure.
As you're comforting her, Ste'yn, you get a little like pinch. You're sure you slept really well. You're positive of it. Just maybe a tweak of something? Not sure. It's another 2 points of piercing damage.
I love waking up and getting random damage. It's quite normal for
does
her.
anybody else feel like weird this morning? I just feel like something's not right.
You feel fine otherwise.
Rested well, just think I turned funny. You know, something. That was
I don't know.
very soft. Not used to that kind of softness.
It was a nice reprieve from the floors that we have been sleeping on as of late. Floors and bedrolls, I guess. And tree limbs and dirt. Whatever else you people like to sleep on.
Seems we're quite opposed to beds.
I'm not. I love a good bed.
Beau, you
Well-
make your way down as the sun is up and you're ready to come in. You can make your way down whenever you when you're
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, I just hop through the window.
Come on down from the rooftop. As you're making your way back down, again, maybe stray splinters you just weren't paying attention to. It's another 4 points of piercing damage.
How are you this morning, tree boy?
Fine, a little bit scratched up.
Yeah, let's go find Leandra and get the heck out of here. I don't really want to be here anymore.
All right. We
Do we see
open
her
the
when we
door.
open the door?
You open the door?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys gather your belongings. You open the door. As you open it, you see that platform area before it splits into the 2 rooms. You see the stairs heading down. You get this nice, soft, wafting smell of something cooking. It smells like, some kind of oil and some kind of vegetable releasing something very aromatic. And as the 4 of you then step out, first of all, Beau, Ste'yn, and Snow, it's 1 additional piercing damage. And then as you step out of the room, your foot goes from this carved out beautiful wood floor, and your next step is crunching in some slightly overgrown, soft grass. And as you look around you and turn back around, all you can see now, after 1 simple step, is just green. Green hedge goes up maybe 50, 60 feet. Behind you, just a long path of green hedge, a bright sky overhead that otherwise looks very welcoming. Trees growing up behind and around and within this hedge. those thick, gnarled branches, big knots, and those little illuminated fruits on each one of them. The trunks of many of them very close to one another, and their canopies hanging over in some spots, blocking some of that sunlight. But you are not where you started. You find yourself at the entrance of some labyrinth, it seems, with little stray twigs that are poking out from the hedge wall, enough to maybe poke you if you hadn't noticed it immediately. And you hear a lilting, fun-loving voice in the air around you. I'm so glad you're awake. I didn't want to wait too much longer. I was getting a little worried, thought you were going to sleep in. But also, I need you to go away now. If you can get through this, then I'm sure I'll feel much better that you didn't bring all that darkness with you to my home. I'm gonna have to talk to Paoli and Ste'yn about the friends they keep. But if you do make it through, I'm sure there was just some kind of misunderstanding, and I'd be more than happy to finish taking you to the swamp. But first things first.
We're just hearing her, we're not seeing her.
You don't see anything except the labyrinth around you, and her voice kind of echoing a little bit in the sky, and then drifting away as the labyrinth stands before you.
This is why I didn't want to stay the night.
I say now we actually kill the horde. Let's get her.
Y'all are insane. This is super fun.
Beau, can you climb the hedges and get us an overhead view? I don't think we have a choice but to try and get out through it. But if it's a labyrinth of some sort like it appears to be, any sort of view of where things go might be more useful than us wandering.
Okay. Is it trees
Maybe
or
have
is it...
something prepared too in case you fall down real suddenly, because she might have something going on up there.
Wait, what are the walls made out of? Are they bush-like or are they tree?
Most of it appears to be hedge-like until it reaches a spot where there are trees kind of growing kind of within it. Most of it appears to be more like a thick hedge. Very cleanly cut, thick hedge.
All right, he'll go up to try and get a visual.
You start climbing. Easy to climb 60 feet. You climb. And you climb. And you climb. And you climb. Please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, that is a 25.
You are climbing until your fingers cramp.
I mean, he's just walking. He's not climbing.
You're walking until your feet cramp. And can barely hold on with even just sticking there. Just you can't keep walking. You'd be walking forever. And then an unseen force pushes you back down. You drop from well now over 60 feet. You are falling.
Feather fall.
It's a very easy landing, a nice simple drop as you touch back down to the ground. And you guys see this. What you guys saw from your end as he was walking up, running up, it almost looked comically like he was running in place and just not going any higher. But somehow that drop looked immense before he cast the spell on himself and came down gently. And you're looking about, realizing that's clearly not the way out. And as if to add salt to the wound, you hear that tittering laughter from Leandra. I'll see you on the other side, hopefully, for your own sake. Good luck. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean content to the world of tabletop RPGs. We are also on the push to 200 subscribers. We're only 15 away. That's insane. We are 15 subscribers away from 200. And if when we hit 200 before the new year, Ste'yn, Catherine here, is going to run a tremendously exciting, unique one-shot for us that I am head over heels for. Like, if we didn't get it, I would still be like, hey, Catherine, can you run this for my birthday? And then I'd be like, pretty, pretty, please. And then I'd see what she said. But we're going to get that
It's
well
definitely
before.
all ready to go.
Yay! We're going to get it well before that because we're going to hit the 200 with your help. So thank you very much in advance. And thank you to all of our subscribers. We're also going to do a giveaway because duh. So thank you everyone who's already subbed, following, or liking our videos, etc., etc., etc. And a particularly huge thank you to my players, whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people and their exciting endeavors. David, who plays our absolutely, definitely brooding rogue, Beau. Catherine, who's not getting enough opportunity to show just how hyped up Ste'yn is, and she can't help herself. Ste'yn, who plays Ste'yn. Words. Kassie, who plays our steadily growing suspicious Viola. I hope she doesn't lose her beautiful, kind, soft nature, but I love this side of her. And Josh, who plays, he thinks he's sleeping, and really he's just trying not to get himself killed by these three, who plays Snow. I am Brenna, I am your storyteller for this adventure, and we will see you back here next time. Oh, also, help us with the algorithm. Leave a comment below answering the question, what is your favorite Halloween treat? And as a double whammy, what's your favorite Halloween trick?
Mine's waking up
Yay!
in a labyrinth, apparently.
No, that's mine to give to you.
That's a treat.
Yes. And we get to do it all again in 2 weeks. So excited. I thought this was going to last the whole session, and I forgot that you guys are excellent. We'll see you back here next time. Safe travels till we meet again, and happy Vivere.
Bye.